Welcome to Coal Region Discontent. Today we're going to have a special guest on here, so make sure you share the video, comment, like, and remember you can always find us on Facebook, on YouTube, Rumble, and Anchor.fm/Coal Region Discontent. Today our special guest is going to be Mr. Teddy Daniels. Teddy Daniels is running for lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania. And if we hold on a second, he should be joining us. Hello there.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh, not bad, not bad. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to be able to help get your voice out there and let some of my listeners hear you.
Brother, this is awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Well, you seem to be a lot more of a popular guy than I am, but I still find that people don't know who you are, which is surprising to me since you've been out there for a while now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm hated by both sides. So
I get that from a lot of the things that I've read about you, which we can get to. Then I feel like the reason why people didn't support Trump was because they really didn't know anything that he actually did, or that he was, they had choices in that. And with you, you are well, by the way, this is Teddy Daniels. He is running for lieutenant governor, right?
yes, sir. You got it.
And I noticed you run on a lot of things that say that you started running because of not liking politicians, as you put it.
You're exactly right, brother. They've ruined our country. They've ruined us.
That I agree with that. I agree with a lot of the message that you're putting out there. I believe a lot of people, like I said, they're looking at other Republicans that are essentially riding Donald Trump's coattail. And but I think they can tell the difference between the ones that are actually speaking his message or just parroting his message.
And well, and here's the thing, brother. There's a lot to do that, but when push comes to shove, like 95% of these folks, they bend. They've got no spine, no backbone. They bend.
Well, I believe we saw that with the 2020 election too. They all talked a big game until it came push to shove, as you put it, and they're just, like I said, parroting Donald Trump, trying to get his endorsement just because. But he was a businessman, and you're a businessman. And
I was back in the day. Yeah.
Well, I believe that the country and the state need to be run more like a business in order to keep things going the way people are. Because I'm a conservative. I believe in the way of life as conservatives.
Absolutely, brother. And here's the thing. So, like, I come from a world, law enforcement, military. Then I ran a tier 1 security firm to where things are done a certain way for a certain reason. And it's not, I don't come from a world where you just do whatever you want and everything's going to be okay. I come from a world, if you don't do what you're supposed to do and you don't have the discipline to do it the right way, people could die. So it may not seem that way, but I'm very calculated in my approach. But I'm not afraid to pick a fight. Not afraid to pick one at all.
I definitely did hear you on your live video a couple of days ago talking about being in a room full of politicians and giving your message that you joined the race because you don't like politicians. How was that experience?
Politicians hate me. And brother, I'm not in this to be their friend. Okay. I have a family. I have a wife. I have children. I have friends. Okay. I'm not a person who values his worth based on the number of friends that he has. I'm a person who values his worth based on what I can get done. And, one of my phrases that I say all the time, if I wanted to make everybody happy, I'd go sell ice cream. I'm not in the ice cream sales business, brother. I'm in the putting foot to ass and getting shit done business. That's what I'm looking to do.
Well, with anything, any kind of job you want, you'd always want, you don't want to push over for your boss. You want somebody that understands, and you want somebody that gets things done and gets results, kind of like Donald Trump did, that nobody knows about because nobody reported on it. But I did see that you're already being attacked by the liberal media.
Yep. And I'll tell you this. So think about this. Think about this. I am running for lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania. Excuse me, I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi here. With all of the governor races, Senate races, congressional races throughout this country, they are zeroed in on me for lieutenant governor's race. So I have somebody who's deeply entrenched down in Florida, down in the Palm Beach area, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Okay. And I called her and I said, hey, what gives? Like, why are they focusing all this attention on me? And she goes, Teddy, you are on the rise. And they think that if they could take your knees out from you now, they will. I think that they believe that lieutenant governor is not going to be my last stop in politics, because I think my message just resonates with so many working class folks that have just had enough. So the left sees me as a threat, not just for this, but for years to come.
Well, I do believe they see you as a threat after reading some of the things, especially in Rolling Stone magazine of all magazines.
Brother, let me tell you this, okay? So this freaking guy, okay? So I knew that they were gearing up this hit piece on me a month before it came out, okay? I knew they were gearing it up. So what these clowns do is he emails me at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and says, hey, we're going to publish this at 5 o'clock. We have all these questions that you need to answer. And right away, brother, if they were interested in truth, they would have contacted me weeks ago. Okay. Not right before they hit. So I saw the questions and I'm like, you know what? Pretty much my reply was, it was in a roundabout, go F yourself response to Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone has not written a pro-conservative article in years. They're currently being sued by Nicholas Sandmann. They're going to be sued by Kyle Rittenhouse. They've already had to retract numerous stories. So the article came out. The next day, I did like a 10, 15-minute Facebook Live, completely debunked their entire article. So then this candy-ass writer contacts me after I put this live video out and says, well, all you had to do was just give me this stuff. And I said, I'm not going to do your job for you. You wanted to gear up this hit piece. You ran your piece. Now I have my response. Okay. You must suck so bad as you can't even write a hit piece properly that you want me to give you the stuff to clear my name. You know it's there. I don't have to give you a damn thing. I'm going to make you look like an ass. So then he emails me again. Brother, I'm living inside this guy's head now. Okay. And then what really pushed him over the edge was it was right after Valentine's Day. And I did another video and I said, guys, I think this dude wants to date me. He keeps emailing me and emailing me and emailing me. I think he's going to ask me out. Seriously, I'm running for lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania. But they attacked me obviously because, I am close to a lot of 45s people. I've been involved in a lot of things in the last couple of years involving the Trump campaign. I was the Northeast U.S. director of Vets for Trump, and they are literally crapping their pants right now because I'm going to get into office and I'm going to fix things.
Well, I did see your numbers that you had. You had 12,000 signatures. That's the most out of any lieutenant governor candidate ever.
Yes. And I actually believe, don't quote me on this because I have to say allegedly, allegedly, I haven't gone through the other people's numbers because they're kind of irrelevant right now. But I believe it's more than everyone else is combined in my race.
That's a lot of signatures. That's a lot of support you have. And that's all 67 counties, if I'm not mistaken.
All 67 counties. And the requirements are, in order to get on the ballot, you had to have at least 100 signatures in 5 counties. I believe we have over 60% of the counties in the state that we received over 100 signatures in. So, you're looking 37, 38 counties compared to 5. So, I'm not a bare minimum kind of guy, brother. If I'm going to do it,
Well, it
everything
does
I'm going
send a
to do,
message.
it does. And I want it to send a message to, and the message is to be sent to the establishment, GOP. Their little power hold on people is coming to an end, and people need to realize that.
Well, I think they try to be too nice too often when they get attacked too much. And I think a lot of the things with being nice is what's causing a lot of turmoil in the world, is they're seeing that our country is, well, we're more worried about diversity and things in the tops of our military ranks instead of getting things done in our own country. But I noticed the Rolling Stone magazine, I read through it, and everything he was trying to allege got no comments from anybody. In fact, and then he wrote that you wouldn't comment. And I feel like this is going to be a thorn in his side, that you wouldn't give them an interview and gave somebody like me the interview.
Well, here's the thing, brother. I don't owe them. Sorry, that's my wife calling in here. I don't owe these clowns a damn thing. I don't owe them anything. Again, if it was going to be a fair article, they would have contacted me months ago. So I actually spoke with another person who was running for, I don't want to mention his name. I don't want to call him out because he probably won't appreciate that. He was running for Senate here in Pennsylvania. He got the Donald Trump endorsement, and then they pounced on him, okay, with the same types of allegations and accusations. He actually reached out and called me. He dropped out of the race because he is still currently involved in a custody battle with his kids, and he can't stand up and fire back like I can. He called me. I fired back, and he's like, bro, keep giving it to him. Keep firing at him. And what happens is his ex allegedly, I have to say allegedly, received like 6 figures from one of these publications just to come out and trash them. 6 figures. Okay. So we know that Rolling Stone paid somebody who had an unfavorable opinion of me to fabricate, embellish. Okay. Now keep in mind, yes, I was divorced 20 years ago. And what they did was they went through 3 years of court records and they cherry picked 3 allegations that had no merit, no backing, no truth, no fact. But that's what they do. That's what they run with. And, if people don't see it by now, the liberal media is actually the enemy of this country. I was watching the news today, how the New York Times says, oh, yeah, the Hunter laptop thing was real.
Yeah.
Remember when the New York Post did the story and that Facebook tried to suppress it and everything else? A little too late now. We got Brandon in office who's killing us. But, now they want to come out and admit it. So I tell people all the time, the media is not your friend. They're not your friend. And you know which ones are not your friend. They want to talk to me, and if they attempt to be fair with me, I'll talk to them. But if I know it's just a straight up slanderous hit piece or libelous hit piece, screw them. Write what you're going to write. Believe everything everybody says about me. You can even add some stuff if you want to. You know what I mean? That's kind of my attitude. Believe it. I wouldn't be where I am if any of that garbage was true. And think about that.
Well, I mean, you were a police officer veteran for 15 years here, and then you joined the military and went to Afghanistan?
Yep. Then I joined the military, went to Afghanistan, 2 companies afterwards. I mean, brother, the security clearances, the background checks, I'm telling you, it was crazy. I've had more backgrounds than most people in my field because of what I do and what I chose to do. So, everything that I did from law enforcement up until now has required like serious security clearances. So that's why I kind of laughed at the whole Rolling Stone thing. It's like, Yeah, okay, guy. You know,
Well, they did that. They did that for how many years? For 5 years with Donald Trump, and the only thing you ever heard of him was his bad things he said or missaid or mistyped. They didn't hear about the peace deals. They didn't hear about
nope,
the energy independent. They didn't hear anything, and now they're trying to parrot it like the State of the Union address we just had the other week. Almost everything in that was stuff that Donald Trump had already put in place or was trying to
well,
put in place.
brother. I think the sooner people realize that these people hate us, they hate us. Okay, you look at the Washington Post, you look at the New York Times, you look at CNN, you look at MSNBC. Brother, I've been hit by all of them. They hate us. They look down on us. We're dumb and uneducated, racist rednecks. We don't know anything. They know better than we do. And the American people are sick and freaking tired of it. They're sick and tired of the left on their high horse, with their virtuous attitude, looking down upon the rest of America. They're
Well, I
tired
see
of it.
you're run as an America First candidate here, so I think a lot of people are seeing a lot of the money we're sending overseas into other countries, while there's homeless veterans here, and there's things that we can't fix here beside roads, our schools, and as for racism, if you notice, there's only one party that ever brings up race, and then the other has
Yeah,
to defend themselves about it. So they watered it
you're
down so
exactly
bad.
right. And the sad part of that about that, brother, I'll be the first one to tell you, there is still racism that exists in this country. But
Absolutely.
what happens is, now that everything is, whenever the left loses an argument, it's, oh, you're just racist. Oh,
Mhm.
you're a neo-Nazi racist. Dude, I'm a bald guy with a beard and full sleeve tattoos. Okay. Like, brother, I get this crap every day from the left. But what it does is it diminishes and devalues the real cases of racism that unfortunately still occur in this country. You look at what Jussie Smollett just did. Okay. And I do feel bad for him. He's got to share a cell with his attacker now.
He's out now.
You know, but look what he did. Like, if you are truly a victim of racism, how is what he did make it easier for you to stand up and say, hold on, guys, I'm being discriminated against because of the color of my skin? They're not going to, because they're afraid they're going to be looked at the same way that these race baiters and fakers do it. So I think it's like the boy who cried wolf constantly, and then when there is a true case of racism, it does not get the attention that it deserves, because people will automatically write it off as, it's the left, call somebody a racist again.
Well, I mean, that's how it is with the
Well,
media. Like, now, are we supposed to believe the media that with this everything with the war that's going on, when for so long they told us lies? And it's just not making any sense to me anymore. And people on our side, on conservative side, because I consider myself a conservative,
yeah.
are starting to believe the media once again, just because it took them one thing to flip real quick to going back to believing them and forgetting all about everything we need done
So
here.
let me tell you this. Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Those are the ones that were paying Hunter Biden. Those are the ones that Joe Biden gave money to get a prosecutor fired. Now, I see all these idiots in DC walking around with their blue and yellow pins on, pray for Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. Why is Ukraine automatically the good guy here? Is it because the media told them that Russia's the bad guy and Ukraine's the good guy? Here's the way I look at it. If I'm walking down the street and the next block up, I see a fight between the Bloods and the Crips, they're both bad groups. Am I going to get involved? No. Let the corrupt countries fight each other. We have warmongers right now on the right who are trying to lead us into World War III. Okay? Ukraine is not an ally.
Mm-mm.
They are not part of NATO. They're not part of it. So, here's how I look at it. If we start giving them fighter jets and everything else, that's just going to up the game for Russia to come after us. And what's going to happen is Russia, China, and Iran are forming an alliance. And I called this shit 2 years ago. Okay. I called it the new axis of evil. You have Russia, Iran, North Korea, China that are in this little power group that are anti-America, anti-everything. We just need to stay out. Let them do what we do. We are not the world's police force. And these people like Lindsey Graham and the rest of these warmongers on the right, tell you what, when your ass is sitting in a recruiter's chair or your kid's ass is sitting in a recruiter's chair, then I want to hear what you have to say about going to war. But if you ain't been there and you ain't willing to go there, shut up. Brother, I've been there. War is hell. It is pure hell. And these politicians in these $5,000 suits who want to stand there and act tough and send America's young men and women off to die. It's not right.
Well, they're not going to run off themselves, that's for sure. They were the same ones that complained about people being in Afghanistan, and as soon as we're out, trying to get us in somewhere else. But
you're exactly right.
Here in Pennsylvania, I noticed I had a statement that a lot of people wanted to know if you would agree with. I would imagine you would agree with this, that the Democratic politicians, liberal media, and even mostly establishment Republicans have lost touch with what everyday average Americans worry about, or their concerns, their kitchen table talk, as they say.
They do. They do. They live in a bubble. They live in a bubble. I saw it when I was in my congressional run. You know, everybody lives in this little DC bubble. And now, like, brother, I thought federal politics was bad. State politics is run like an organized crime. Okay. It's, you know, like, obviously I support Doug Mastriano. Okay. Well, Doug Mastriano is too conservative. He can't win in a general. And I'm thinking to myself, where have you people been the past 2 years? You know, where have you been? They live in their little swampy bubble echo chambers, and they have completely lost touch with what everyday Americans are thinking, what they're feeling. You know, brother, I dealt with it myself with my family. My son was supposed to start preschool this year. We yanked him because they were going to put a mask on him. Like, that's a kitchen table issue that my wife and I sat down and talked. And these people don't have those worries. They don't have those cares. Everyday Americans do.
Well, you mentioned Doug Mastriano. I mean, he's been on the forefront of all these issues, out there putting bills out there, trying to get bills repealed, even bills that he at first supported, like Act 77, was it? Trying to get that repealed. They just deemed it unconstitutional, but appealed it. And I think it was.
Well, I got to tell you this about the Act 77. What they voted for Act 77 initially had all the protections in it. Okay. Voter ID, had to be postmarked, signature verification, the whole 9 yards. It was Bookvar, the Secretary of State, Tom Wolf, and the Pennsylvania State liberal-ass Supreme Court that changed the legislation on their own using the guise of COVID. So what they voted on, what was passed, is not what was enacted. So, you know, and he's been on the forefront saying that too. Like, this is not the bill that I voted for. So it's been an abuse of power for years here in Pennsylvania with the Democrats.
Now, are these is something like that with the repeal of that? Are these some of the issues or concerns that you're going to help push forward? Because I know the lieutenant governor is the president of the Senate for the state.
Yes. Now, I'm not a legislator. Now, I preside over the state Senate, but my main role is to carry out any task or assignment that the governor seems fit. You know, if he assigns me to go, you know, let's say, figure out how we can implement school choice the best way, then that's what I go do. Okay, brother, he was an officer. I was an enlisted guy. So I think it's a really good fit. You know, it's, sir, what do you need me to do? I'm on it. Give me the order and I'll complete the mission.
Well, I mean, you don't even look like the average politician, which I think is going to resonate with a lot of people. It resonated with me. I mean, I've seen you when your video when you were injured. I've seen you talk. I've seen you on your live videos, and a lot of your message is resonating with me. So I know a lot of my viewers it's going to resonate with, and the
That's awesome, brother.
school choice is definitely one of the things that that Act 77. There's a couple other things that are in Pennsylvania. I mean, we've in Pennsylvania been taking care of ourselves, but lately with Tom Wolf, with a lot of the liberals coming in, a lot of them they have been hijacking things like Act 77. They hijacked it during COVID. It could have been a good
They
thing,
did.
and then it ended up. I mean, they're
Well,
getting what they're.
here's why these swampy ass Republicans were all for Act 77. They wanted to separate themselves from Donald Trump. They wanted to eliminate straight ticket voting.
Mm-hmm.
So they figured, well, people will still vote for us that don't vote for Donald Trump. So it was a save your own ass incumbent protection racket. That's what Act 77 was. It wasn't for the people. It was for themselves. That's all it was. Okay. That should have never even been introduced in the first place.
I mean, I've noticed a lot of other laws that are like people are forgetting about HR1 that they're trying to push through about the voting ID. And then here in Pennsylvania, they're trying to push a bill through to not vote for the lieutenant governor and allow the party to pick them. And I think that's
Yep.
wrong. I feel like we've been doing a great thing. So with voting separately, they fear it'll mash up wrong at one point, but that's how you hold people accountable. And that's how you give people their voice.
Yes, absolutely, brother. I agree with you. And right now, like the party, you have these little swampy counties. This is the first time in 48 years that the state party said that they weren't going to endorse. But now you have county parties that want to endorse their candidates. They know better than the people. Like, I call it the little power fiefdoms, okay? These state party or these county party chairs don't like the fact that their power was taken away from them because the state party said we're not going to endorse. So they're like, well, we're going to do what we want to do at the county level. And we're going to throw our endorsement out like it actually means something. Okay? Again, echo chamber. County party endorsements don't mean shit. It tells people, hey, that candidate's for sale. That candidate is swamp. That candidate has puppet strings attached to them. And people need to realize, like, this is not the person you want to go with if they have all these party endorsements.
Well, I mean, we have the problem we have in Pennsylvania is more along the lines of Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. A lot of them have a lot of people that vote Democrat and been doing that for years because Democrats at one point in time were for working people, and they realized they lost the rural ones, and now they're going around to rural areas with their new Carhartt jackets on and their never used Timberland boots, walking around saying,
Yep.
I know how you feel. You don't know how I feel. You don't know what I got to deal with. I got to pay a tax if somebody dies. I got to pay taxes for you to do something that I could do for myself, but you seem to be able to do it better. And now you're coming around here begging for my vote again because they're being shunned in the rural areas.
Brother, I tell everybody this. You want to judge a man's worth, shake his hand. A handshake will tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I firmly believe that. I was brought up that way. If a man's got a firm grip, looks you in the eye, that's a no bullshit kind of guy right there. So, it's these people who come out with their brand new Carhartts and, work boots with the tag still on them. And you go to shake their hand and it feels like you just stuck in a tub of warm butter. The person's a phony, So that's where we are.
I mean, a lot of people have a lot more in common with conservative values than they know they do. I mean, and especially in Pennsylvania here, a lot of them are pro-life. I know you're running on a pro-life.
Absolutely.
I don't believe it's right. I mean, I'm outspoken about being pro-life. I'm not only pro-life, I'm anti-abortion because I believe if you give them any loophole, they're going to take
advantage of it. These freaking Democrats, you give them an inch, they take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we are in a position in this country to where the Democrats are coming after us with baseball bats and brass knuckles, and these rhino-ass Republicans still want to have pillow fights and play patty cake. Okay? That's why the establishment hates me, because I'm like, no, we need to swing back. We need to stop letting the left dictate who we are as a party. Like, I hear it all the time. Like, I got a couple clowns in my race. There was a forum the other night, and they're like, I want a state rep seat in a 2-to-1 Democrat district. And I'm thinking to myself, tell me you're a rhino without just coming out and saying you're a rhino. That means you compromised your values, that compromised who you are to win votes. And if push comes to shove, if you've got to make the left happy, you're not going to stand strong. That's what it tells me.
It doesn't matter if you give them what they want or anything. They're never going to be happy, because we're living a generation where people have to micromanage everything to look for something to be offended by. And it's
exactly.
And
everybody wants to be a victim, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Everybody wants to be a freaking victim.
That's the cool thing, and it's cool to live off the government now. Nobody's ashamed of anything, and there's just no integrity any left. And like I said, I resonate a lot with your message. It goes a lot with my message. I usually don't align myself with one candidate or the other. I like to see action, and I've been seeing you and actually Mastriano at every Senate hearing pushing bills forward. I've seen a lot of smear pieces, and I've read these smear pieces. Like I said, the Inquirer, the Rolling Stone, all things about you, about him. And I believe people need to, like I said, hear your voice, because a lot of people, even though you're very popular, a lot of people still don't know. Just like a lot of people couldn't tell you about the deregulations Trump did, or the bill for parental thing in Florida that they call the don't say gay bill, when it doesn't even say it anywhere in the bill. So it's
the scary part is we have a very large uneducated electorate who, and when I say uneducated, it means they come out and they vote just based on, well, I just want to vote. So I don't know who any of these candidates are. I'm not following any of the issues, but I have to do my duty and vote, which I think is great. Do your duty and vote. But you need to know what you're voting for and who you're voting for. Okay? And you look at all the folks who came out and voted for Biden, and I say that sarcastically, voted for Biden.
81 million.
Just because Trump was mean. And I tell people this too, brother, when I get elected, the taxpayers are not paying me to be nice. They are paying me to get things done. And that's what we plan on doing.
Well, I really hope to see some of the, I hope you make it. It looks real good for you to make it in the primary. That's for sure. And I don't see any tough candidates.
This is ours.
Well, the Democratic Party doesn't seem to have any tough candidates either. Nobody even wants to try running against Shapiro for some reason or another. And
no, they're all beta males, brother. They got nothing going on over there.
And they're desperate.
They don't even know what bathroom to use. You know,
we already have most of the legislature in Pennsylvania as Republicans or conservatives. So they're desperate because they see this coming, and they did it to themselves. So,
yeah.
I mean, is there anything else, brother, you'd like to add in here?
Brother, I just want to thank you for having me on. I know we've had to reschedule a couple times. It's been crazy. Been traveling the state. I got to tell you this is really cool. And I got to tell your viewers this. So I was just at General Manufacturing the other day out in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They are a weapons manufacturer for the United States military. They make mortar tubes, AR-15s. They make the parts for the 249 Bravos and the M240 Bravos, the machine guns, everything. And they just got into making a civilian line of AR-15s. So what they're doing for me is I am working with them to design my ideal AR-15, and it is going to be the Teddy 15. The serial number is going to be TD 000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am working with them to do that. I think it's incredible. It's a family run company. It's a family run business. And brother, it's small businesses like that across the state that keep the world turning. They really do.
They're the ones that suffered the most.
Exactly. And in the very near future, I'm going to do a live video, and like, they have an incredible story. It's been in the family for years, and they are just straight up America first type people over there. And like, I'm honored that I'm going to have my own style of, AR-15 with my name on it. So that's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And just working with these folks is just so much fun. We were just talking today, and I was talking about, for the Cerakote, like the camouflage color scheme for the Cerakote. And I'm going to tilt this up, brother. Like, you can see, I'm an AR guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got more guns in my house than the National Guard in Pennsylvania has. So the more the better, brother. And like I said, we're going to end up raffling a bunch of those off, of those Teddy 15s off for, to keep raising money for our campaign. But we're getting it done, man. We're getting it done.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate you giving me your time. I know you're a very busy guy. You're a lot more popular than I am, and you stuck to your word.
Brother, let me tell you, I've been, like, every time we've had to reschedule, and I'm sure you've talked with Nicole, my admin,
mm-hmm.
and I keep saying, Nicole, she's like, hey, we have to run here, we have to run there, we have to do this, we have to do that. And I'm like, Nicole, we got to get these guys in. Like, I feel bad that we have to keep rescheduling, but brother, I'm glad we finally got a chance to hook up, man. This was fun.
Well, I mean, I hope, like I said, I hope your primary goes well, and I hope you stay in touch. Maybe we can do this again when it gets closer to the campaign. Like I said, I wanted to get your voice out there because everybody's seeing, the only people they're seeing are the people that are on TV or the Facebook ads or anything that's going out there, and it's all wrong. And you can't tell people. I wanted them to get a sense of who you are, and I've been watching your videos lately. I've been watching your campaign, so I've been paying close attention. And your message is like I said, it will resonate with a lot of people, and I'm hoping to be able to get this out. Like I said, it's not a very big channel, but there are some supporters, and
that's great, brother. Thank you.
Well, and like I said, if there's nothing else, I guess I could let you get on your way. I'm sure you're going to be busy still yet today.
Gotta go pick up my little guy. Gotta go pick up Jack Daniels.
Oh, there you go. I got a couple of them around here myself. So,
oh, God bless you, brother. Hey, you know what? 4 years ago, this was all still blonde and brown, and my son is 4. If he makes 5, it'll be a miracle. One of us ain't going to make it through the year. I can tell you that right now. This boy's got me pushed to my wit's end. So
you gotta love it, though.
But I gotta go get the wild man from his daycare. So,
all right, Teddy Daniels. Everybody got to make sure to get out and cast their vote for you, because I feel like you're the one with the actual America First message out of all the ones that are saying they are America First and just trying to ride Trump's coattail to a victory for no reason.
Talk is cheap, brother. Talk is very cheap. Remember that. Talk is cheap. They say there's 2 types of men in this world: men of action and all others. And when you take a look at my race and you look at where has everybody been for the past 2 years? Where have they been? Nowhere to be found. Now it's an election year. They come slithering out from underneath their rocks, and they tell people lies. They're going to say, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for you. Where have you been?
Well, they're coming
and
out.
That's my answer.
Coming out to fight for you.
Now you want to fight. The fight's over. Now you want to fight? Yeah, no thanks, guy. But brother, I appreciate it, man. I really do. This was fun today, brother.
All right. Thank you. And Teddy Daniels for Lieutenant Governor here. All right. Now that was great. Now that was Teddy Daniels. Like you said, he's a pro-life conservative. He does not like politicians. He was a businessman. He was also a veteran and a police officer. And he is trying to put America first and put Pennsylvania first. So if you like what you heard, remember to make sure you share the video, subscribe. Like I said, Facebook, Rumble, Getter, Gab, anchor.fm/coalregion-discontent. All of it is Coal Region Discontent. And we like your support. And I'll end this like I always do, that the Constitution of the United States of America is the greatest political document ever written. And it does not need rewritten. It needs reread. We must understand what's in it before we go trying to change it. And thank you. Remember, love thy neighbor, treat people how you want to be treated. And if you get caught acting stupid, you'll get treated accordingly. Remember to get out and vote, support candidates.
I am not